Should the Arizona Cardinals be in the market for a running back this offseason, or should they roll with what they have? Well, one Jets reporter ties the Arizona Cardinals to the top back on the market, and it's with heavy hearts tonight. Say goodbye to a former Cardinals playmaker, Johnny Venerable.
Plus, on the eve of NFL Combine Week, what's the latest with Ruben Bain, among others? And we do a 3-round mock draft with one twist coming up. It's PHNX Cardinals After Dark. Hey, we're live. Welcome in. Live from Studio K, presented by our friends at Circle K. Fine tuning this Combine Week. It's the PHNX Cardinals podcast, your premier #1 Arizona Cardinal podcast. Like and subscribe. Leaves 5-star. Wherever you get your programming. I'm Johnny Venerable. He's Bo Brack. No man at his place behind the Mac. We appreciate everybody live, ready to go as it relates to Cards After Dark ahead of this Combine Week, Bo Brack.
I thought Hey, We're Live was the new edition of Live, where you just, hey, we're live, folks. It doesn't hit as hard. So no. I think we need to lock in on the eve before we head to Indianapolis for the NFL Scouting Combine, because it's a big week for this little fanboy podcast.
Yeah. Yes.
No doubt about it.
Yep.
What's up to everybody in the chat? Hey, Zeus, love to see you. How about Connor Herbst already dropping, I believe, 10 gifts of supporter memberships. Huge. Thank you, Connor. Unbelievable. So generous. Reese, what's going on? How about Jacob Das Libra? Our guy Johnny loves to say the little boy, right?
Little bro.
The little bro.
The little
I
bro.
apologize. I see you, Agent. How about Michael Evans? Jamie Collins, good to see you. Snacks, Brian P. The Frank is here as well. Joe G, Steven Jackson. Hi, Deb. So many great people in the chat tonight. Thank you for taking some time to wrap up your weekend here with PHNX Cardinals. And we're going to get into it as far as the Breece Hall conversation. Our mock draft is coming up, Johnny. It's going to be a fun little Cards After Dark.
Yep. Brought to you by our friends at Bet365. Never ordinary. Use the bonus code PHNX365 when you sign up. Choose your offer. Find out why it's never ordinary with Bet365, our presenting sponsor, hanging out with us all week as we make our way to Indianapolis. But before we start the show, we would be remiss if we didn't take some time to discuss and remember former Arizona Cardinal wide receiver Ronale Moore tragically passed away yesterday. Ronale Moore, famously second-rounder, playmaker, electrifying, coming out of the draft out of Purdue. And, you know, I've had a chance to speak with him a couple different times. Bo, you covered him ad nauseum. I still contend, you know, I've been to less games in person that you have. The best play I've ever seen live, and you can check my Twitter receipts for this, in any sporting event, was Kyler Murray out of the pocket, scrambling around, hitting Rondale Moore down the field against the Minnesota Vikings in his second NFL game in 2021. It's heartbreaking, and I know Cardinal fans and former players reacting yesterday was equally heartbreaking, but your thoughts on the passing of Rondale Moore here tonight?
Yeah, just the devastating loss, and echoing your thoughts, just truly on the football field, an electric playmaker, right? Yeah. I mean, just the 77-yard touchdown that you were talking about, his first in a Cardinals uniform, as a really kind of highly regarded second-round pick. And then, you know, you had the toe tap against the 49ers. You had the bomb against the Houston Texans, him and Kyler Murray. JG fired up on the sidelines, that opening drive. Thought something special was happening there. And it's just heartbreaking to see somebody so young gone already. And just, anybody who covered or interacted with Rondale, as you were saying, just knew that he was just a humble, really kind young man and treated people the right way. And it's just, you just hate to see it when with things like this. It's your thoughts are with his family, his friends, his teammates. They're in this like truly unimaginable time. But like he sat down with you and I in 2023 on the set of our Radio Row at the Super Bowl, and just it was just so gracious. He was just coming off. Remember his pinky? He'd messed up his pinky. It was going the opposite way. He had surgery to fix that. He had surgery to fix 2 groin issues. It was just a young man that was just plagued by injury,
right?
All the way dating back to his freshman year in college, and it's just so many people have speculated, like, and you just hope it's not true, but it's just I'm sure that had a lot of gravity on him and weighed on him a lot, and you just see what the reports are, and it's just devastating. You just wish you could say, hey, like, you've been injured, it's taking you off the playing field, but you're so much more than just a football player. And I think the outpouring of people talking about Rondale, support that. But it's so tough. We ask that anybody who needs help, you can text 988. I think that's a good resource out there. But just one of those ones where you can't believe it when you read it.
He, in a weird way, it's like crazy to think about now that the Jonathan Gannon, like, shots explosives meme, that's him with Ronale Moore. And like, we always forget like that piece because everybody's kind of taking shots at JG in that video. But I mean, there was a reason why JG was fired up to coach Ronale Moore, because he was a deep threat. He was an explosive playmaker. So that now meme will always make me now extra sad around it. And yeah, we had a chance to meet with him, visit with him. Super nice guy. And you talked about like when he was on that 2021 team, you just felt like you were playing with house money because you had prime DeAndre Hopkins and you had AJ Green Renaissance, and then it's just like, who's this kid out of Purdue? And he's undersized, but he's really perfect for Cliff early on because he was a gadget player. But I mean, he was physical. His freshman year at Purdue, I think he was first team Big Ten and was going to be, an All-American until the injury started. But yeah, rest in peace, Ronale Moore. So tragic. And yeah, I echo Bo's comments. Reach out to a friend, check on your loved ones. And we'll remember Ronale Moore for everything he did in the Valley, and clearly the impact on his teammates. I mean, from Kyler Murray to AJ Green to Hollywood Brown,
Michael Wilson in his rookie year. I think it was Greg Dortch. They were tight together. So many people on the Cardinals team, and so many that have come through that facility. Ronale Moore he touched him and was I think came as a shock to so many different people. I mean, AJ Green, as you mentioned him, his post was one that definitely tugged at the heartstrings. He kept up with Rondale. They were in the same receivers room as you were talking about in 21.
Yeah.
And they kept up, FaceTimed on a weekly basis, talked on a regular basis. And it's just, one day somebody's here and then the next day they're gone. And it's just way more than football. I mean, it's that brotherhood.
We're going to segue here, fumbling through it the best we can. But again, rest in peace to Ronale Moore, thinking of his loved ones in a very unthinkable, difficult time. As we look ahead to NFL Combine Week, and this is very much the calm before the storm as it relates to free agency. And we'll talk more about the players in the Combine here later in the show, but you're starting to hear things trickle out as it relates to who may or may not be available. Like, we know Kyler Murray's available. He's been available, right? But what about the players that potentially the Cardinals could look to add? Of course, one of them is a former running back under Mike LaFleur and a current member of the New York Jets, Breece Hall. So I think the expectation is that James Conner will be released by the Cardinals based on his salary. He's going to be 31 years old coming off an injury, and they do not have a ready-to-go bell cow back. And the more we dive into this draft, it's not a great draft for a day two back to come in and be the guy, right? Like that. I think that they, and for the most part, the last 2 years, they had pegged those two drafts. And you could always find sleepers and gems, but like the backs that are going to be had to lead your backfield are probably going to be had in free agency. Javonte Williams just inked a deal over the weekend with Dallas. He's off the market, Bo, making about $8 million per year. Breece Hall is the belle of the ball at that position, but the question remains, will he even become available? And Bo, there was a report from a certain Jets reporter signaling that if he does, Arizona could be a landing spot.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting so far ahead of ourselves as far as this Cardinals team. I mean, a couple of weeks ago, we couldn't even think about free agency because we didn't know who the coach was, right?
Right.
And we didn't know who, the offensive coordinator, what the staff was going to look like. And now that's all in place. They're trying to figure out the next big domino. And as you mentioned, Kyler Murray, no doubt about it. Whoever is at quarterback is going to need a stout running game, a sound run game. And just the harsh reality of the NFL, a 31-year-old oft injured running back, despite how well he's played in the Cardinals uniform, to try to rely on that might be a bit naive from a general manager's position. And then again, you look at, who the successor is. Everybody believed when you tabbed Trey Benson 66th overall in the third round in 2024 that he was going to be the likely next bell cow of this organization that just hasn't found any solid footing for the Arizona Cardinals. But then, I think I'll still contend, being in the Breece Hall sweepstakes is putting the cart before the horse for the Arizona Cardinals. First and foremost, you need to get the quarterback position right. And then everything else can happen after that. I know the Arizona Cardinals were simultaneously, we have this, pretty well sourced, having a bidding war with Milton Williams. And then, on the back burner, they had, a quick pivot to Josh Sweat, and they got that deal done once Milton Williams signed. I don't know if they can operate the same way. And if you're going after Malik Willis or the quarterback and then quickly pivot to a Breece Hall. But, as you're saying, we don't even know if he's going to become available. If he does become available and you're sitting there and you're going to pay Breece Hall $12 to $13 million, I'm still going to say, well, are you going to have enough to get the quarterback and the offensive line and all that right? So, I hate to be just a wet blanket. I would just kind of throw caution to that conversation and also tell people that there's so many different avenues that in this day and age, as far as the NFL goes, to bolstering your running back room. Could you release James Conner and could you bring in, could you have a running backs room of Trey Benson and Kenneth Gainwell? I was talking to my guy Derek who brought that up. We were messaging back and forth with each other, and he liked the idea of Gainwell, who had a fantastic season for the Steelers. Is a good change of pace back. You probably need to bring in somebody more in the first two downs to supplement Benson just until you figure out what he's going to have. And then, like you said, the draft, it's like Jeremiah Love, and it's like the next best prospect in this draft. It's his backup from Notre Dame. Does that inspire a whole lot of hope as far as you reaching for somebody that wasn't even a full-time running back at the collegiate level?
Yeah. Do you trade for Chuba Hubbard? If Carolina eats some salary, we could speculate all day, but here's the report from ESPN, and this is from Rich Cimini, who covers the Jets, connecting the dots through new head coach Mike LaFleur, Coach Hall with the Jets. Arizona's backfield, major state of flux. James Conner, Trey Benson, Bam Knight suffered season-ending injuries. It's a vacuum where Hall would make sense. Cimini believes the Jets would like to extend Hall before he hits the market, but may wind up using the franchise or the transition tag instead, or on the way to a deal. So it depends on who you talk to. There are Jets reporters who believe that they're just going to let him test the market, And there are other reporters who think the transition tag, not the franchise tag, is more likely. The transition tag basically means the Jets can match any deal, but I saw something to the effect of they wouldn't match it if they put the transition tag on. They would then pull the tag, allowing them to get comp picks next season. So I don't know. It basically, it's like, do you want this player on your team? Do you want Breece Hall to be a Jet? You have enough money if you're the Jets, $100+ million and no players. Like, you can why wouldn't you just franchise him? Why wouldn't you just or make him a high-paid running back? That's not going to kill you. You don't have any good players to sign. What my opinion on this is, I believe that they will probably overpay him, just because they kept him at the trade deadline. They didn't do him like Sauce Gardner. They didn't do him like, the defensive tackle Quinnen Williams that went to Dallas. So do I think that the Cardinals would have real interest? 100%. If he becomes available and he's taking visits and he's, meeting with teams and GMs, then I believe the Cardinals would have a ton of interest. I think it would be probably one of his first choices to come back and play for Mike LaFleur. But you know how the Jets operate. They're so dysfunctional. I could see them dicking around with a tag and then turning around and giving him $14 million a year. So I don't know how, in what world you tear it down with Sauce, a number one corner and a number one defensive tackle, but you keep your running back. It's such ass backwards team building. But here's where I'll push back, is just like, I do think there's a world where if Breece Hall's available, you're like, hey, Breece, we have to get this done with Malik Willis. We've got an offer for you. We want to dive into it. This is our priority right now. And if you can wait, great. And if not, you're not, I'm with you in the sense you're not banking your whole offseason on signing Breece Hall. Like I was talking with somebody earlier today, like if your offseason is like Malik Willis or bust,
yeah.
And in a lot of ways, if that's your target, that's what it should be. As crazy as that sounds, when we're talking about Ruben Bain and all these other draft prospects, but it doesn't matter if you own the quarterback right. If that's your goal this offseason, then that's after the minute either you cut or trade Kyler Murray, that's where all your attention goes. And then just like when you got Mike LaFleur, it's like, okay, now we're going to reset, see what's available, what's not available, and go from there. But, I think Breece Hall would be great here. I think it would interject enthusiasm with this fan base. Think about this. Breece Hall is 24 years old. He's younger than rookie running back for the Denver Broncos, RJ Harvey. Now he's got an ACL on his shelf and he's missed some time, but he still had 1,000 yards last season. Like, 4-year deal for Breece Hall, front loaded, wouldn't have an issue with that. But I think we're both on the same page that we think James Conner probably is done in Arizona.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate. Just the fact how celebrated his extension was, and for it to just fall by the wayside like it did with their inability to run scheme and run block like they did previous without Clayton Adams, and that was apparent like week 1 against the Saints, and then carried on in week 2 against the Panthers. And then James was gone by week 3 against the 49ers. You mentioned the relationship with LaFleur and Hall.
Yeah.
Breece Hall was a young back. And then LaFleur goes to Los Angeles, and everybody's talking about like where LaFleur kind of made a name in his kind of mark on Sean McVay's offense is how they run scheme. And that did wonders for Kyren Williams. Kyren Williams was his first season, his rookie year, not much. I think he was trying to come back from injury after being drafted out of Notre Dame. But then like Mike LaFleur gets in that building, and they find out like Kyren Williams is a dude.
Yeah.
And he's been one of the best backs in the league. And it's like Mike LaFleur has shown the ability to develop backs. And I'm curious to hear, or not, we won't hear ultimately, but like, what Mike LaFleur thinks about Trey Benson, or if it's like, let's just, like we're talking about the quarterback room, are they going to have a very similar kind of facelift for the running back room? Or is he like, I think I could take Trey Benson, his 4.3940, in the tape I saw from Florida State and the real little tape I've seen from the Cardinals, and I can turn him into what I've done with Breece Hall and what I've done with Kyren Williams.
I think you have him in the mix. I'm just, you know how I feel. I just don't. I'm not here to hand over anything to Trey Benson after last season. Fair or not. He immediately got hurt after James was out for the year and never came back. And I saw him as a rookie, and I thought, I don't know if there's a ton of difference between he and DeMercado. I just, to me, it's like Trey Benson is, I mean, maybe he has a renaissance under Mike LaFleur. I'd be all for that. But I think you just have to add bodies to this skilled group. I think you have to, you know, and again, maybe, Bo, you're right. Maybe it's a middling, like not RB1, but maybe it's a borderline RB1, RB2, and then you draft it back and you just say, hey, somebody go win this job, right? And you can do that.
Tyron was a 5th round pick.
Right. That's what I mean. Like,
you know, yeah, it's like we don't see a lot of like brand names in this running back class outside of Jeremiah Love, but like Harry Williams, obviously played for Notre Dame and he had some injury history coming out of the Fighting Irish, and that was like his main issue, which dropped him that far into day 3. But like, can you take, you know, does Mike LaFleur see in was it the Jadrian Price from Notre Dame or Emmett Johnson from Nebraska or Katron Allen from Penn State? Like, does he see like, hey, just give me one of those young guys, and like late day 2, early day 3, and we'll add them to the competition. We'll sign somebody. It's like, I've got full confidence in our scheme that it's going to produce yards and it's going to set up whoever's at quarterback for success. We're going to be able to run the ball, which was something they completely abandoned. It's like, I know the big fear about Jacoby coming back, but it's like Jacoby Brissett had to operate with 0 run game,
right?
Like 0 run game. And whoever's throwing the football next year can't be, you know, burdened by that.
Some other notable running backs, local product, Rachaad White hits the market. He's always had typically a decent yards per carry, especially the last 2 years. And then you've got Travis Etienne.
He can also catch the ball a little bit.
He can, yeah. He's a bigger back, 6 foot. Rico Dowdle. Rico Dowdle?
Yeah.
Rico Dowdle, yeah. And then some older guys like Najee Harris and Austin Eckler. Kenneth Walker, who we assume is going to stay with Seattle. J.K. Dobbins, as you mentioned, Kenneth Gainwell.
ETN, I believe. What are the rumblings around ETN?
I haven't heard anything.
I know they took the kid Tootin out of Virginia Tech.
Right.
That I don't know if they, you know, I know that you talk about Rachaad White and Bucky Irving and what Cohen was able to do in Tampa, and then in Jacksonville, what he was able to do with those 2-back sets, man, or with those 2 backs. I mean, it feels like any team needs 2 reliable backs, and it's like when we're talking about one guy in Breece Hall, and I know he's a do-it-all guy. It's like you take the $13 million a year, roughly, that you're going to have to pay Breece Hall, and you go get 2 guys.
Right.
You draft a guy, do you sign a guy?
People are saying Rico re-signed. I did see that Kansas City's a team poised to make a run at Travis Etienne. Should make sense for them. I mean, Cardinals are going to have options. They may not blow you away, but they've got bigger fish to fry. And I mean, the quarterback's going to take center stage. So we'll keep an eye on. What's your prediction for Breece Hall? Do you think they inevitably get something done with the Jets?
I mean, they didn't trade him, but it's like they were probably not getting offers that met the comp pick that you just said that there were reports on. It's such an unbuttoned franchise. It's just such a mess of a franchise. It's like, well, we'll do this. We'll put the franchise or the transition tag on him. But the whole point of that, like if somebody does want to, you know, sign him, we'll just let him go and take the comp pick. It's just such a mess.
We're previewing the NFL Combine next week. What will go down, what should go down, plus our mock draft. 3 rounds, and we got to trade down from pick 3. Hit that like. It's PHNX. Hit that like for our friends at the Husband and Wife Law Team. It's Mark and Alexis Breyer. Their Phoenix home is their residence where they, of course, raise their 8 children, and their focus is always for their customers, giving back to the community. Because let's face it, after a serious injury, you want to hire an attorney that's focused on your best outcome, not how much money the firm makes. That's the husband and wife law team, the team that brings hundreds of years of experience, combat trial to your front door. They're certified specialists by the State Bar of Arizona that certifies less than 1% of all lawyers and specialists in injury and wrongful death litigation. They actually go to trial. If your case needs to go to trial, they are prepped and ready to go. They're not making side deals that aren't in your benefit. They practice is 100% dedicated to injury and wrongful death from the day they open. The focus has been helping people during some of the most challenging times in their life by providing an unmatched combination of personalized service and legal results. If you've had a serious injury, you need some assistance, do yourself a favor. Call the husband and wife law team first, 602-783-8841. That's 602-783-8841, or visit their website. The link in the show notes. Tell them Johnny and Bo, PHNX Cardinals, sent you.
Football season officially in the rearview mirror. It's a beautiful day out this weekend here in the Valley of the Sun. It's time to stop delaying that big project you've been wanting to take on and do it with our friends over at the Window Depot. Kitchen, bathroom, full remodel. It's your one-stop shop over at the Window Depot. They've been serving Arizona since 2002, and they started, sure, in windows, but they're way more than just a window store now. We're talking windows, doors, skylights, cabinets, countertops, sinks, you name it, with tons of inventory in stock and just ready to pick up. And if you need something custom, they've got you covered there too. Contractors love them because they're job site ready quantities, plus great pricing, expert service, and no membership required. Well, homeowners, do-it-yourselfers love them because they've got those in-house designers that are free and help bring your vision to life. Stop delaying that project. I'm telling you, man, go to thewindow.depot.com. Like the Ohio State, it's thewindow.depot.com and get your next project started today. You're muted, my man.
As I fumble through this Cards After Dark, there was a report from one of those stupid parody accounts on Twitter that I fell for earlier today. You know what it said? It said Ruben Bain wasn't going to the combine. And I'm like, oh no. But turns out it was false. So big Ruben Bain will be on display. And I think because of our schedule, there's a chance we get to talk to him at the podium come Thursday morning. Perfect. Of course, we leave on Monday, and the head coach and the general manager for the Arizona Cardinals, Bo, they talk on Tuesday.
That's right. We'll get to chat with Monti Ossenfort and Mike LaFleur on Tuesday afternoon. We'll take you all the answers, all the questions from that press availability. But I luckily I wasn't on the Twitter streets to get duped.
Smart
by that. That's unfortunate. I'm sorry, but that's why you got to keep your head on a swivel around here. I did see though that Ty Simpson reports are he plans to throw.
Good for him.
And that's that's big because, like, you know, as Daniel Jeremiah was pointing out last week, it's basically Ty Simpson and everybody else is just a lottery ticket, right?
Right.
You're just hoping to hit in later rounds. But Ty Simpson, I'm interested to see how he stacks up, how he looks, you know, after a kind of a struggle, riding the struggle bus on the way out of the college football ranks.
Go throw yourself into the first round. Go blow people away. Go compete. CJ Stroud, once upon a time, he was one of the last notable guys to throw at the combine, right? Remember JJ McCarthy tried to throw at the combine. That was a disaster. But no, I want to see Ty Simpson compete. There are a lot of people who aren't fans of his, Saul Bookman being one of them. I would not feel comfortable if my team used their first pick on Ty Simpson. But if my team left the first round with Maui Noah or Bailey or Ruben Bain, and then you traded up to get Ty Simpson, or you use your second pick on him, that would be great. The problem with Ty Simpson and him being available for the Cardinals, let's say you do like Ty Simpson, the Cardinals picking at 34, that's a long way to go. And you would have to be able to trade back into the first round without giving up capital for next year. And that's the concern. So I do think I think he's going to go in the back half between picks 16 and 32. And if the Cardinals love him, they should try to emulate what we do tonight. trade down, get more capital, take somebody else, and then use that capital, go up and get Ty Simpson. But in no world should Ty Simpson be their first pick. It just, even if they're like, hey, this is a guy that we really are excited to work with, like based on what you and I have seen, like Ty Simpson is not ready to play in the NFL yet. He would need at least half a season behind any veteran, whether it's Jacoby Brissett or otherwise, Bo.
No, I'm with Jacob for the most part here, saying no thanks on Simpson. We need a guard, and we're not saying that either. Like, I don't know, it's such a, you have to find some sort of solution at quarterback. You know what he really gives me type of vibes, especially like just how his collegiate career went. I know this is a bad comp, but like him on, like when you thought the best of him too would be Josh Rosen.
Yeah.
And I think it could be a Josh Rosen type. Like you could take a guy, like even if you traded back in, depending on what the capital was that you had to give up. Like if you got Ty Simpson and he just wasn't developing and you were in a spot to take a quarterback in the first round in 2027, I wouldn't be shocked to see if he just got, one and done.
Yeah. I mean, I also think all this Rams hoopla, I think, is overblown. I don't know. Louis Riddick floated that out there like, it's like that report that came out here locally that the Cardinals really liked Ty Simpson back in like December. Remember that? Excuse me. And it's like, guys, we're not doing this. The combine's in 3 months. The draft's in 6 months. Nobody knows who they love and who they don't like.
Who were they telling that to?
Right.
They were telling it to coaching staff that was blown out.
Right. The QB coach is gone. The OC is gone. The head coach.
I know you're coaching for your job here, but we'd like to tell you, kind of interested in this Alabama quarterback. I know it's probably not going to matter to you, but we just like to put it out there, even though we haven't really looked at any tape and we haven't worked these guys out. We don't have their official measurables, but I can tell you what, I'm intrigued by this guy.
Don't you feel like, and like I would take a quarterback this year because I think they need to just start throwing stuff at the wall. But don't you feel, let's say they get Malik Willis, right? And Malik Willis signs for like 3-year deal and gets like $75 million or something. That gets a good contract. And if you're Monti Ossenfort, like, okay, you're putting your eggs in Malik Willis this year, right? Don't you think like you're looking at the draft and you're just like, I want to get people that can help Mike like right now so we can save our asses and get to 8-9 wins?
Sure.
I think that's probably more than likely. And then you think to yourself, okay, we got our heads above water this year and we showed a lot of promise. And then next year we can stick and pick a QB, or we can take one in the second round that's more, appeasing to what happened this year. I just feel like if we're sitting there on like day 2 of the draft and it's like, hey, we think this guy Malik Willis is your quarterback. They love him. They say all the right things, right? We think this guy could be a plug and play left guard starter, or let's see what we got in Drew Aller here. Like, I don't think that's, I don't want to say in their best interest because what
are you going to do? I mean, unless you're like Seattle and you can just stash them. I mean, Jalen Milroe was on the roster and he wasn't a true threat to play. Like they had Drew Lock.
Right.
I mean, and one of the risks you're taking with Willis, and a lot of people point this out, is how often he left games, right? Even as a backup. So like you need to get a reliable backup if it's keeping Jacoby where he's much better suited for that QB2 spot, I think, across the league, or if you get somebody like Jimmy G or, a lot of the names that are bandied about it, you can't like get Malik Willis and then bring in a guy who is raw as a prospect, starting with Ty Simpson and getting like even bigger question mark, like an Aller or a Nussmeier or, one of these other quarterbacks. They're going to be day 3 guys. It's just, you'd be setting yourself up for failure just because you're one play away from those guys, seeing the field.
Right. I like next year's draft is so far away from me. I just can't. For Monti Ossenfort too. Like we still have people on Twitter, not to call anybody out, but like people are talking about, hey, I'm confused. This Raul message today, and he said, I don't get it. Why would we sign And he was being sincere. Why would we sign Breece Hall and Malik Willis when we're trying to tank this season? And I'm like, I guys, I don't know how like more direct we can put it. They're not trying to tank this season. Like, despite what like some people here locally may recommend that they do, and that gets a lot of buzz and engagement and clicks, right?
Right.
Hey, they're going to cut Kyler Murray.
Rage bait. I would say rage,
right.
More rage bait than
you're going to see it when they cut Kyler Murray. People are like, Cardinals tanking hard this year.
Oh yeah, that's going to get a national. That's going to be a national.
Right, and it's just like, nope, they're not doing that. Monti Ossenfort, this is it for him. Like, we get that. Our audience here gets that, but it does still amaze me how many people just assume that like the 2026 season is done. Like, what? Hey, Mike LaFleur, why even show up for work?
Mm-hmm. You know, and Monty, it's like, why even stick around? Why don't you just follow JG out the door?
Right.
It's because guys, because people see the limited options or the options that don't inspire a ton of hope.
Yeah.
They just say, well, the easy way out is tank. That's the easiest path to getting back. It's like, no, it's actually the fastest path to fire more people and just to continue to like have to kick the can down the road to relevancy and actual, playing, games that matter. That's I agree. Like Sir Ramsey, like to an extent, like tanking is for weaklings, but it's also tanking is for those who are kind of lazy as far as not trying to find a solution.
Yeah.
When every offseason there's people there's players to be found that can make an impact. Whether like Sam Darnold, I would say more so coming from San Francisco to the Vikings was that guy that nobody believed in. That you're looking at this quarterback crop, and like I know it's nauseating for people to say, well, Darnold did it, Baker did it, and like those are kind of like fewer and farther between, but it does happen if you do your homework, you make the right judgment and set them up for success.
Yeah, I agree with Brian. Players who want a second contract don't tank.
Right.
This is too violent of a sport, and there's too great a risk of injury to just lay down. And like the closest thing you see is like the Jets that last month to secure a top pick, and the Raiders basically playing like inferior quarterbacks. So you're guaranteed like, and they had to wear that. It was some of the worst football you ever. I mean, the Cardinals to the end tried to win. They just stunk. And, to give fodder to the people online, like the Cardinals don't need help losing. They've been losing for a long time. It's like, hey, maybe be different, change it up and try to win for once. So, as we kind of put a bow on this ahead of our mock draft, I mean, like, where's your head at with regard to the third overall pick right now for this team, which is very much taking a back seat given everything that's going on with the quarterback?
Despite somebody who's so plugged in and so knowledgeable, and Daniel Jeremiah saying the value of the pick is edge, and looking at Bain and Bailey, and even though he did throw in the Isaiah Simmons reference and saying Arvell Reese is a bit of a tough sell, I can't get away from these tackles. Francis Maui Noah, I mean, I think he's gonna be the placeholder until something this week tells me different.
Okay.
Like if there's something where he's not, anywhere close, if he's just like he projects to be, not starting caliber, from the jump, and he's going to be a guy that's going to be, potentially a liability. I don't see that with Maui Noah. I haven't seen that. Like he played in the biggest stages that you could, the collegiate level, all the way through to the championship game. And he showed up and he went up against future pro defenders and held his own. It's just like, that seems like the highest floor you can find in a position of major need. And I know you're not supposed to draft just solely on need, and I don't think you are. It's just you're taking kind of at a premium position. And right tackle these days is just as valuable as left tackle. You're taking a guy that you could plug in right away for the next half decade and play bookend with Paris Johnson Jr.
I thought you made a really good point on Friday's show of Lane Johnson and the significance of that and how it's paid dividends for Philadelphia. I'm with you. Like he's probably my favorite player, or co-1A and 1B with Ruben Bain. I just was so impressed with what Miami did physically every week. line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. Like those, in my opinion, the three best players in the national championship game were Mendoza, Bain, and Maui Noah. Like those to me, I was like, these are the three best guys, right? You got the quarterback, the edge rusher, the tackle. And I think if Ruben Bain goes second and David Bailey's available and they vet David Bailey and they say, we can't pass on this guy. This is, who you could argue Will Anderson versus Paris, but like, Will Anderson's been a more dominant player. If they say David Bailey has a grade of 98 and Maui Noah is a 90 for us, then you got to take the edge rusher, right? And we'll get closer and there'll be a consensus, right? But yeah, that is funny, Paris Francis. But I do think we know this. They want to take a tackle there. They want to put that position to bed. They have a double-digit sack artist in Josh Sweat. They've got Jordan Birch, who is a top 75 pick for a reason. And then they have a pick 34 that could easily be an edge rusher, easily.
Which is the strength of this draft.
Right.
Right. And, people will make the point that the top tackles aren't that far away from the later stage tackles, the later tier tackles. But it's just like, I think you can find, if you play into the strength of the draft and you do take the surefire top guy at a premium position, you can't fault the Cardinals, especially when you look at where one of their weaknesses. Snack saying Bailey was so elite. Yep, like he does show like the twitchiness, the size, the speed that you want. Like he's going to be a guy. What are the reports coming out of his camp as far as him working out this week? Because I think if he does, he's going to put on a show.
14.5 sacks, 3 forced fumbles. He's lighter than Bain, and the length's going to be interesting. Bain played this year like 275.
Right. So
Bailey is more, as you mentioned, twitchy. I think he's got the speed accolade, and then Bain is pure power.
I mean, he could be Josh Sweat 2.0.
He could, for sure. I looked at the big board before the show. There were 15 edge rushers in the top 80 players. And, there's Messiter, who is his teammate, who had 12.5 sacks. TJ Parker played at Clemson, which I'm not a big fan of Clemson players, but I think it's Mason Thomas for Oklahoma, Zion Young. There's Gabe Lucas at Illinois who had 11 sacks. Like, they're a bunch of guys, right? But having said that, don't take another guy while passing on the guy, right? If the guy is available, we saw it. You took Paris, and then what'd they do? They took BJ Ojulari, right? Not a great pick in hindsight, right? Would they have been better off taking Will Anderson and a developmental tackle later? I mean, I think it's harder to find a franchise left tackle than an edge rusher. That's my opinion. Like, Josh Sweat got good money. He didn't get starting left tackle money. So for me, this is a first world problem, because the Cardinals, we bring it up all the time, they were saddled with like the 5th or 6th or 7th pick going into that last weekend. And they're either going to get the number 1 tackle in the draft or the number 2 edge rusher, Bo.
Yeah. Yeah. And when we'll ask Monty about the latest on Paris Johnson Jr.'s extension talks. He'll be eligible. He'll pick up his 5th-year option, as soon as possible. But, I think that would be a nice little message to send before you hit free agency. If you're trying to get a quarterback, it's like, hey, we just locked in our left tackle, $21-22 million a year. And he's gonna be here, and we've also got that 3rd overall pick. But yeah, if I'm tasked, like if Bailey goes 2nd overall, as I think DJ had in his latest mock draft.
Yeah,
I think you take Maui Noah over Bain, and like I would feel comfortable in doing that, because like I know people are scared off of that Will Anderson thing again, that conundrum, right? But like Will Anderson too had like the size and stuff. In like you knew where he was truly going to play, where Bain is like he's probably going to show up, arms are going to be a little bit shorter, he's not going to be like your traditional edge. Why not go just what you know what you're going to get with Maui Noah?
Can I also say, like, sorry for my language here after hours, like people are full of shit too, because Paris Johnson Jr. was not a consensus top 10 pick until like the week before the draft.
Sure.
I mean, Paris Johnson Jr. was going in the teens, and the Cardinals took him 6 overall. He was worth the pick.
Right.
So the people who are like, I don't know about Maui Noah if he's worth the 3rd overall pick, and he's being mocked like
right.
5.
Well,
6,
Skronsky
7.
was always the top tackle in that draft until, you know, this time of year his arms showed up
Right.
T-Rex length, and it's just like, okay, maybe not. Maybe he's a guard.
I like this from DL. It's like, we don't have a right tackle right now. They have pass rushers.
Mm-hmm.
They have a good one and some unknowns, but they have them. BJ Ojulari could go off in a contract year. His brother did.
Right.
Hit that like button. We're coming back right around the corner. A 3-round mock draft where we must trade down from pick 3. That's coming up. Hit that like. It's PHNX. Hit that like for our friends at Gila River Resorts and Casinos. How about our friends at Wild Horse Pass or any one of their 4 locations? They're doing the fabulous Corvette giveaway. Drive into excitement. It's going on right now through April 24th. Wild Horse Pass, Santan Mountain. Again, one of their 4 locations. How you qualify is this. Fridays from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. They're going to have hourly drawings for free bonus play or a final entry. Then Tuesdays and Saturdays, you can earn 4-time entries when you play with the card. And then, of course, on Thursdays, 2 to 5, you've got the Hot Seat Finale qualifier. Play with the card for your shot. Again, check them out right now. Don't miss your chance to accelerate into luxury. Play, earn, and win in any of their 4 locations. And, of course, get yourself a staycation. Gila River Resorts and Casinos. Again, Wild Horse Pass. They've got 4,500 slots, live table games. Go big or go home with an upscale, approachable place to go and watch the big game with the BetMGM Sportsbook. And, of course, we're set, knock on wood, to have our robust draft party with our friends at Gila River Resorts and Casinos. Info coming up on that in the coming days in terms of ticketing and more. In the meantime, you do you. Gila River Resorts and Casinos. Visit playatgila.com, Bo, for more details.
You got 2 weeks. They just finished up in Atlanta today. Another banger of a race. Just, I guess Tyler Reddick's going to win them all as far as NASCAR goes. But get out there in 2 weeks. Phoenix Raceway. You're not going to want to say you missed it because Phoenix is one of the best cities for sports in the country. But this spring, it's taking it to another level. Not only do you just have NASCAR, but for the first time ever, you got the NTT IndyCar Series racing the same weekend at Phoenix Raceway. Remember last time Phoenix Raceway held a race? Wasn't Sydney Sweeney hanging out there?
Whatever.
You want to miss that experience? The potential of missing out. Sydney Sweeney and NASCAR and the NTT IndyCar Series. I mean, there's nothing like race weekend. It's been unreal. Engines firing, smell of rubber, crowd losing it, going in turn 1. Get your garage access, your track walks, your meeting with the drivers and pre-race concert with the Desert Diamond Casino infield experience. It's unbelievable. Or you could camp all week long. RV options. Grab hillside views for the Cup race and lock in race weekend packages. History is going to be made March 5th through the 8th. You want to say you were there. Check it out and secure your seats right now. Link in the show notes, phoenixraceway.com.
Hit that like button. We teased it on Friday. So we're going to save it for Sunday night. It's our 3-round mock draft ahead of the NFL Combine. Quick rules for this one because we're switching it up. No Kyler Murray trade. In this reality, in this scenario, Bo, the Cardinals, they cut Kyler Murray, okay? We're also going to assume that they get a quarterback during free agency. One of the guys we talked about, Malik, Derek Carr, Kirk Cousins, etc. And we have to trade down from pick 3. We're going to take a look at some of the other options within the top 10, and we're going to take a trade down. We're going to share screens here via our friends at the PFF Mock Draft Simulator. Here are the Cardinals. We're going to go 3 rounds here. We're going to enter the draft. And, of course, we're going to start on the clock. I guess, yeah, we're going to go on the clock. So Mendoza and Reese have gone 1-2. Here's what I will say. PFF Mock Draft Simulator have been accurate, very accurate this far off season. Last year had some quirky stuffs going on. So we got a couple teams interested in trading. The Giants at pick 5, the Bengals at pick 10, Cowboys at pick 12. This is probably too far down. So let's entertain it, Bo, with the Giants. You're assuming they're going to come up for a tackle or an edge rusher.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Probably not a tackle.
Yeah, probably. So we're going to go.
No, probably not a tackle.
I mean, well, they have edge rushers too, though, don't they?
Right. Maybe they're a downs team.
Maybe. That'd be great. I just saw a PFF mock draft on their website. Had Caleb Downs going second overall to the Jets. So, yeah, maybe. All right, so 3 and 5.
Yeah, here's what I think. Like, you're going down 2 spots and you've got 4 guys that you could take at, 2 different positions. You got 2 edge rushers that I think you'd be comfortable with, probably 2 tackles you feel comfortable with.
Yeah, and this is already broken your way because Reese goes, and you and I aren't huge fans of Reese. So minimum, you got to ask for pick 37. Do you ask for a pick next year? Do you ask for an additional 2? They're not interested in giving up a 1. Is 2 2s enough to drop down 2 spots, in your opinion?
Yes.
Okay. I'm assuming they're going to accept it. They do. So the Cardinals trade. I was assuming we were going to drop a little bit further. This kind of loses a little bit of the luster for me. I thought we were going to have to get real creative with stick and spit here to see who we're picking around pick 8. Cardinals get pick 5, pick 37, and a second next year from the John Harbaugh-led New York Giants. So they wanted Carnell Tate. So, again, a little bit of a questionable trade up here. So you're sitting pretty even though Bain is off the board. You've got David Bailey and, of course, both tackles still available. We've been going back and forth on edge rusher and OT. Bo, I would expect that you would want to stay there. You're not thinking Caleb Downs or Jeremiah Love here, correct?
No, I'm not. Bailey is intriguing at 5. Because you got the extra second round pick, could you really kind of go after offensive line?
I mean, his metrics against some of the best programs in the country. You see what he did against Oregon. I mean, he really didn't have. I mean, his worst game came against Utah and ASU. But for the most part, and they lost that ASU game. But their Texas Tech's defense was all worldly this year. And here's what I like about him. They played good defense, and he had a bunch of sack numbers. And he's a traditional edge rusher. 6'3", 250 pounds. He is a little bit older. But again, like developed, he's not raw. He's going to be 23 when the season starts. But I don't have an issue with this. Do you have Bailey ahead of Maui Noah here, who is the consensus top tackle?
Oh, man. I mean, I know he's going to probably test well. I mean, both of them will test well. Yeah. I might be here with Bykowskia or our guy Alex. I think you take David Bailey and then see what offensive lineman you can get. And I know that's coming off as hypocritical after all the things I just said about Maui Noah. Why wouldn't you take Bailey at 3 if you would take
third best edge rusher over OT1?
Yeah.
They're telling you you're going to take the third best edge rusher. What's the chat? Chat gets to vote. I would probably take I like
it's
I mean, like, we can get an edge rusher, I feel like, later. I think this is going to be like edge rusher city right here.
I don't think it's much of a split. I mean, I've seen more Bailey than Maui Noah, but there are those who are dug in on Maui Noah. Yeah, PK Fitzgerald is all over Maui Noah. I think you take Bailey.
Okay. Then we're going to slow this puppy down here after we take Bailey. So Bailey goes.
So you want to try to jump back in for Maui Noah?
Or Ty Simpson, maybe. Maui Noah goes
11.
Jordan Tyson. Let's just take a recap here. Jordan Tyson, local product, goes to Baltimore. Really good value there. Now, Spencer Fano hasn't been taken yet.
Mm-hmm.
Jeremiah loved the Browns. All right. So what would it take to get Spencer Fano? All right. We're just going to start playing around with this. I mean, both of your 2s to come up to get Spencer Fano. Are you doing that? I think I would too. Come back into the first. I mean, he's still available, right? My eyes aren't deceiving me.
Right. Yeah, he's still there.
I think this is why you make this kind of trade, Bo. I think you do it so you can come back in and get a premier tackle.
Yeah.
Is everybody good with this? So the Cardinals will have 2 picks in the top 17. They will get an edge rusher and an OT. Neither one are my favorite players at the position. That's okay. I like Maui Noah and Bain more. But I also think like you're not giving up any capital next year. You still have that second rounder that you secured. I think we offer this trade. Should I try to get something a little bit more? Probably not. Maybe get a third next year. All right, we're gonna make Detroit throw in a third next year for fun. All right,
you don't like Bailey's character.
Yeah.
So they got a couple guys that okay. So a couple edges ahead.
I mean, he's a right tackle. Didn't you say he moved to right tackle to accommodate somebody else?
Right.
Accommodate a teammate because he played left tackle. I don't love the Big 12 competition, but he is a freak. He's number 2 for me. I think
there's no question this is who we're taking.
Yes.
So we trade back in.
All right. So we'll speed this puppy up here. Cardinals on the clock, pick 65. So again, next year, for those scoring at home, we have an additional 2 and 3 while also securing an edge rusher and an offensive tackle that you would presume start on day one. This is interesting now, Bo, because you look at it and it's like, well, the Cardinals don't need corners and tight ends and safeties.
Chris Johnson is a great prospect. I've been following this kid just under the radar. Just a great player out of San Diego State.
Yeah, I think you just probably go BPA here. I wouldn't have an issue taking a safety here, honestly. Buda Baker in last year of his contract. Kamari Ramsey was a high-profile recruit coming out of high school. You've heard his name a lot. That program for USC, though, defensively is so bad. I mean, do you want to take a developmental center?
No. You want to roll down a little bit? Let's see who else. No one tight end.
What about Branch? What's his story? 5'10",
no productivity.
Yeah, 5'10", 180. Yeah, I mean 800 yards, but yeah, 6 TDs. What's the chat thinking? CJ Daniels, Cardinals. He must have been banged up too. He's 6'2", 205. I don't know these wide.
Everybody wants to see the quarterbacks.
Interesting.
Some people are saying Jacob Rodriguez, the linebacker out of Texas Tech.
Quarterbacks are about. Get used to seeing this a lot. Nussmeier, Beck. I think that's a no. What's
the running back situation? Emmett Johnson's probably the best there from
Jonah Coleman. Yeah, people like Johnson. 1,500 yards, almost 6 yards per clip in the Big Ten. That schedule, though. Ugh. Scary. 5'11", 200. I mean, I wouldn't hate it. Jonah Coleman. I wasn't tapped into a lot of Washington football this year. He's been around a long time. Yeah, he's almost 23, playing running back, 5'9". I mean, this feels like this is our last pick of the draft.
Okay.
I mean, I don't really have a preference. What does the chat want?
I've seen a lot I've seen a couple guys for Branch. Some people saying Nussmeier. Is Emmett the running back?
Yeah.
Some people I see Brandon saying Taylor Green. It might be too early for the Arkansas quarterback.
I've seen Emmett Johnson mocked consistently in the top 100. I would not have a problem with this.
Okay.
22. I mean,
what's the guard situation? Do we want to look at guard real quick?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen anybody worth that pick. Just a bunch of centers. I mean, a couple fringe top 100 guys. I don't see it.
Okay.
They have so many. I was thinking about today. They're going to have, even without Garrett Williams, Starling Thomas, Keitrell Clark, Elijah Jones is still on the team. Will Johnson, Max Melton, Denzel Burke. That's 6 guys.
Yeah.
They could sign another free agent. I think, I don't know. Give the backfield some juice and some.
There's our guy. No, hold on.
Oh,
I love Jennings Dunker. Slide him the guard.
You think he can play guard?
Yeah.
All right. Why is he so far down here? Is it because he's old?
I don't know, man, but he's legit.
All right.
Big red mullet.
We'll take him. We'll take him for vibes. All right. So there it is, our draft. To recap, only 3 picks after trading down. They didn't like the Dunker play. That's all right. David Bailey goes to the Arizona Cardinals after a trade down from 3 to 5. The Cardinals secure 2 twos, one this year, one next year. They then package both of their twos this year to go up and get Spencer Fano, OT2 in this draft, while also securing a 2027 third rounder. And then they take Jennings Dunker, who I would assume is going to play next to Paris at left guard, Bo.
Love that. I think you did some nice work on the offensive lines. Couple tough prospects there with Bailey coming off the edge. I mean, there we go. The Cardinals, I think Johnny did cook in this draft. Despite being so late.
To say that, didn't it?
No, really? It felt good.
So again, like, what'd you do there? You checked the need at edge. You checked the need at right tackle. You checked the need maybe at guard. I mean, maybe he redshirts as a guard. But then what did you also do? If Malik Willis is a disaster this year, if Derek Carr flames out, you're not going to be able to trade up for Arch Manning with those extra picks, but it makes you dangerous. If you're picking, let's say, 12th, and you're trying to get from 12 to 9, it's like, hey, I got 2 twos, I got 2 threes, right? So, interesting. I don't think the Giants are going to be trading that kind of, real estate to come up and get a wideout, but let's hope a team is desperate, Bo.
Yeah. Well, we can't wait to find out what's going to be going down this week in Indianapolis. We take off tomorrow. For all the insight, make sure you're signed up as a diehard. Go PHNX.com. You get all the behind the scenes going on at the Combine. Looking to catch up with Mike LaFleur, his coaching staff, plus Monti Ossenfort on Tuesday. It's all going to be going down. PHNX Cardinals takes in the Johnny, Shane, myself, and Noah's maiden voyage out to Indianapolis. But it's going to be a fun one, man. We're going to be hopefully catching up with Mina Kimes, Mike Garafolo. So many people out there that excited to talk some Cardinals football with them.
Let's jump in your super chats. Hit that like button. Desert Vulture kicking us off $5. A very kind RIP to Ronale Moore. Prayers up, only 25. We talked about it at the beginning of the show. Devastating. Feel for his family. Feel for his former teammates who have been out in droves. And contact your loved ones, contact your people, and let them know you're thinking about them.
No doubt about it. Just brutal news from the other night. How about our guy, Dan Trevino is now a supporter. Thank you, Dan. Appreciate that.
Dan.
Welcome to the squad. When we do our behind the scenes VOD that everybody loved from the Super Bowl, you'll have access to that by being a supporter and a member. How about our guy, Ranger? So Johnny, going to wear a suit at the Combine. Bo's going to wear his dad going Home Depot again. Just kidding. Bo, have a safe trip and get us all the info, guys.
Thank you, Ranger, for that generous super chat. So there's 2 schools of thought. The Super Bowl, I go a little bit more formal.
Yeah.
Because there's a little bit more glitz and glamour, right? And I also don't want to look like, somebody's intern.
You're classy. You're a classy guy.
A lot of people are wearing suits. A lot of people are wearing dress clothes. The Combine, there's a reason why it's in Indianapolis. It's a very blue collar event. You're there to grind. You're there to work your ass off. Clothes are very much comfort and form fitting. So you're just getting through the day. So I will not have a sport coat on. I will we're there to grind tape, and we're there to grind takes, as I put it. So
that's right. And stay warm.
Yeah.
But I appreciate it, Ranger. It's a very astute observation. I look like a dad going to Home Depot, and Johnny's he's the class of the show. That's for sure. Never been a question.
Did you look up temperature? How about this right here? How's everybody feeling about that right there? Got your barf bag ready? My God.
Lord.
And the worst part about that is not just the temperature. It's the wind and the wind chill. When you're out, we walk everywhere.
Yeah.
When you're walking from the convention center, the Airbnb to the Lucas Oil, the air, it's like getting stabbed in the face with the wind, and you're just fighting for your life. Yeah.
Damian Christian, what are your thoughts on Drew Aller? I think he's going to light up the Combine. 6'5", 230, great arm. Penn State is ass. R.I.P. to Rondale Moore.
R.I.P. indeed. I mean, here's what
You're
I'll say.
more of an Aller guy than I am.
Yeah, I like Drew Aller. I think if Drew Aller had finished the season and gotten his play going, I think he would have maybe had the opposite of what Ty Simpson had. Whereas I think his stock would have gone up. Whereas Ty Simpson, people were mocking him first overall.
Yeah. Aller's a big time project. I mean, there's no doubt about the size and the, the projectables, the arm strength, the athleticism. But man, is it, you could just light a pick on fire too. And I don't know if you're in a spot right now. Unfortunately, you should be, but you're not, to take a flyer on a guy. But I'm cool with just taking a, I'm cool with taking a quarterback every year. Let's keep it going here with B Money. Gents, thanks for the steady, great coverage this week. Please ask Monty and Mike LaFleur about Kurt Warner joining the organization in some capacity. Hashtag RIP Rondale.
Yeah, that's a Michael Bidwell question, I think. I think Monti Ossenfort is just trying to get to next month, as crazy as that sounds. And we asked Kurt, and Kurt had not been contacted.
Yeah.
And here's what I'll say, like, Monti Ossenfort would not be the person to hire Kurt Warner. That would be Michael Bidwell. Monti Ossenfort's just trying to keep his job. But I appreciate the recommendation, and I'll double down on B Money. If there are questions that you guys have, we do this every year. You got to be a diehard and go and put them in the member Discord, and then we'll take stock while we travel tomorrow of all the questions people want to ask, and we'll do our best to try to implement them into the Q&A on Tuesday. Monty's presser is going to be, I don't want to say a bloodbath, but it is going to be rapid fire because Monty has not spoken in 6 weeks.
Yeah. Keeping it going with Desert Vulture. He's been a member for 4 months. Thank you for that loyal membership and being a supporter like you always are. Appreciate PHNX Sports in the membership perks. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Rangers back, $5. So former Cards O-line Jared Valdir is on the Next Level Chef TV show. Is he still jacked?
I think he's one of those O-linemen that slimmed way down.
Nice. He was a freak.
Yeah.
And he was already pretty lean as a tackle.
He was one of those first, like, on Twitter, you saw, like, one of the workout pics. He looked like the Incredible Hulk.
I'll never forget when the Raiders were just like, hey, this is a really good player we have. Let's just let him go in free agency.
Let him walk.
That's where Keim was deadly in free agency. He could smell blood in the water when those kind of things happened.
I feel like those back-to-back off seasons where it was Valdir and then Ayupati, and then it was after that, like, you could barely, like, teams got smart and they're like, no, we're going to keep our good offensive linemen.
I mean, Steve it was like banger after banger. I mean, even his 2020 or 2013 free agency period, I mean, it was table setting. They brought back Dansby, Carson Palmer. Like, early Steve Keim free agency was like right here. You just knew it was going to be fire. Yeah. But then it flamed out. You started trading first-round picks for Hollywood Brown.
Das Libra jumping in. I really like Travis Etienne as a fit here if we can't pull Hall.
My only concern is he's a little older. He's 27, but
in prime.
Yeah. I mean, he was great last year. And he fits the system. They're running that system in Jacksonville.
It'd be like a 2-year, probably like a 3-year, but 2-year deal.
No one pays backs anymore.
Right.
So, like, I think you can wait. I think you can wait on any of these guys.
Yeah.
No one's getting a back paid, I think, in the first wave.
I think so. Trevor Begay. Tuning in from my way back from Disneyland, Johnny.
Trevor, love that for you. Jealous on my part. We might be planning a trip for May. We said we weren't going to succumb because the prices are absurd, but we might choose to try to rally and do a marathon.
Don't do the same May vacation I'm going to take. Like,
no, we'll be off the same time. Just the camera will be here. Just be on Noah for 90 minutes. The little bro's back, $5.
We didn't get a fa. How about there it is.
Just the sound. Noah just doing the sound effects for 90 minutes.
I'll do it. I'll oblige. Hey, Bo, let's see the hat on backwards. I think that's the play. Sweet Bill. Thank you. It's a Brandon Bills. I didn't grift this from Trey McBride like Johnny's hat that he has on his head.
Trey handed this to me. Then he's like, I signed it, but it's on the inside. You guys can't see it.
Brandon Hunter, nobody cares. Everybody knows that's a lie. Sign Malik, draft Klubik in the Klubnik in the 3rd. Everyone had a bad year at Clemson. Or Taylor Green later. Both would be good guys to sit and develop.
I have PTSD, Brandon, from Clemson players. I just can't. I mean, I believe you. I believe that they're going to be good.
Yeah.
But Clemson just remember all those guys who was good off that national championship team, other than like Christian Wilkins and Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
They were all bad.
Mike Williams for a little bit, or no? I guess that was before.
We know who was the worst. The worst.
Tackle won't sell jerseys, but it helps everyone on the team. QB stays up, wide receivers time to get open, bigger holes for running backs. D gets the rest when the chains move.
Somebody made up a good point too, Brian. It's like you got 2 stud edge rushers. What if you never have the lead?
Yeah. Also,
the Giants have had good edge rushers. They've been picking the top 5 for 10 years. They've had good edge rushers every year. They stink still.
Sir Ramza, are there any off-field issues that could negatively impact the team? The weather, the city, the lifestyles? Is heat making everyone sleepy?
No, this place rocks. Arizona's the greatest.
With that station by 49ers. Is that what we were talking about?
I think the Cardinals are they haven't made good choices. So that they've been bad. They've made a lot of bad choices.
All right, guys, Schaff, have a safe trip and don't worry how much chocolate you consume this year. It's not going to get above 38. It's down to 19. Brr. Don't forget to finish the steak. See ya.
2 days from now, we'll be at certain steakhouse, St. Elmo, TBD. Might do some seafood. I don't know.
Oh.
Might go.
Doesn't want to compete this year.
No, that's right.
That's the equivalent. He's not throwing at the combine. Das Libra. At my house in Cali, not missing AZ weather right now. The melt is coming.
Ooh, yeah, that's true. It's supposed to be high 80s this week while we're gone. But again, these are first world problems. People want to live here. It's the greatest.
Last but not least, Johnny Crouching Dragon. JV, no stocking combine restrooms to meet players.
I don't know if there's a player I would stalk into the bathroom this year. Is that an indictment of this draft class? I mean, like, who would I freak out about? It would probably be like Mendoza. I'd just be like, "Hey, Francis," and he's like, "Hey, I'm using the restroom."
Thank you. It's Fernando.
Fernando, excuse me. You can get my name right. Hey, Fernando. I'll be like, "Yo, I'll just walk with you."
Yeah.
And just he goes in the stall. I just keep the conversation going. I'm washing my hands. No, I mean, like that 2024 draft class. There was so many star players. I mean, it was a sight. And even in 2023, you had a bunch of quarterbacks: Bryce Young, Stroud, Richardson. This year, it's a very blue collar draft.
This is a blue collar show, blue collar podcast.
I'm so blue collar, it just seeps out of my pores.
And we're gonna be jumping on an airplane tomorrow. We're gonna bring you all the coverage from Indy. Don't miss out. Become a diehard. Go PHNX.com. I'm a supporter. Get the behind the scenes VOD as well. Can't wait for that vlog, I should say. It's all coming this week, as early as tomorrow in the exclusive member Discord and other content avenues. But looking forward to that. Thank you for everybody that took the time to join us tonight. And, of course, rest in peace, Ronale Moore. Tragic news. Our thoughts, our prayers continue to go out to all those affected by this. And for Noah and Johnny, I'm Bo. We'll talk to you guys soon. 2:30 Tuesday. Join us live from Indianapolis. Can't wait.
Oh, I love this. Noah had a pet team for us. Oh yeah, that'll be a reunion for the masses. Thanks everybody. Man. We appreciate you guys. Oh yeah, Rollis and Monty in Indy for combine cleaning duty. Yikes! If I said that to Nick Rollis, he would beat my ass.
Yeah.
And on that note, we'll see you Tuesday.
What the Sigma?
We all silly like the mayor.